Hey, what's going on, people? I was just sitting back and I was thinking about some things, and somebody had posted, or I seen on their timeline where they was asking, or they had a question about, I guess Christians, or Christian belief, or basically a question along that realm had came up, and it was just at the same time I was actually driving up the street, and I thought about, a lot of stuff that people profess. I've learned some things, that made so much sense to me, like, reading the Bible and so on and so forth. Like, it was something that came out in the Bible that was talking about, you, like, a tree by the fruit that it bears. You know, I'm looking at a tree right now, it ain't got no fruit or nothing on it, ain't got no leaves on it or nothing, so I don't know what kind of tree that is. But, if you walk up to an apple tree, it's got apples hanging off of it, it's an apple tree. So obviously you'll see and recognize and call something what it is by the fruit that it bears. By what you see about it, like its countenance, its characteristics, its qualities and stuff like that. So it makes sense. It's not, oh man, that's oh my God. It's basically like a proverbial saying. It's, yeah, I look at a house, it's a house. I look at a car, it's a car. That one's a Honda, that one's a Impala, that one's a Dodge Caravan. Yeah, okay, I see it. That's what it is. But like another thing that had came up, because I was a person who was basically raised in church, and I didn't know about other religions and what they practice until like examples came across the pulpit. Like, so, one thing that came across the pulpit is, oh, people that's in these cults and people that worship this and people that sacrifice goats and lambs still to this day, you know, and lessons from the Bible teaches that obviously we don't have to do that. Back before Jesus hit the scene, that's when they used to have live sacrifices and stuff like that. There's even a description in the Bible on how to slaughter that animal, or how to sacrifice that animal, what you do first and what you do second, and what's done third, and what's supposed to be taken out and sprinkled or cut up in bits around it. And it describes quite a bit, you know and for someone who's raised up, in that, believing that, okay, everything that you read in this book is right, everything that's contrary to it or looks contrary to it or that's brought up contrary to it is deemed wrong. So essentially you'll get this sense to where, okay, if I ain't reading the Bible, if the Bible don't say nothing about it, then it must be evil. Okay. And some people live on that standard. Some people live on that determination. But my example was, and this is what I was thinking about so heavy with, it's like, okay, we see all these, these movies and stuff like that about people who are like devil worshippers. They're cutting birds open and sacrificing chickens and goats and stuff like that. And they're trying to conjure these spirits, and people that practice witchcraft and soothsaying, which is like fortune telling. And, all this stuff is a form of witchcraft. But, soothsaying, fortune telling on one end is bad. But soothsaying versus prophesying. Because even with soothsaying, some things have been proven to be true. With prophesying, in the word it says, like, we wait on, what is it? It's not we wait on a prophesying or something like that. But you'll know a prophet, by what he prophesies it to be true. So if he says it and it comes out to be true, yes, then we recognize him as a prophet, knowing him by the fruits that he bears, knowing them by the fruit that they bear, because there's prophets and then there's prophetesses. But, if I went to, back in the day when they started doing those 1-800 psychic lines and stuff, it used to be that chick on there called, her name was Cleo. Call me now for your free read. And I don't know if anybody still remember that crap, but they used to have me weak. But people used to do that. It was a 1-900 number, Cleo something. And maybe you would hear something on that other end. Oh, okay. Where you're experiencing this right now and you're experiencing that right now, but you're going to do this and you're going to come across this and you're going to have to make this decision. You know, like zodiacs, you know, oh, for your horoscope and stuff like that, you'll see stuff. I've even posted horoscopes on my page because some of those things was like, oh man, this is right. Look, they got Aquarius right on the nose. Okay, so if I see that to be true, do I like pay attention to that wholeheartedly? You know, when I was younger and dealing with church and stuff like that, I remember my mom, she still has on tape somebody prophesying over me. And I haven't heard it in a long time. I forget the exact things that they was talking about, but I think my mother said that either it was prophesied that I would like touch drugs or I would touch alcohol and it would make me so sick that I wouldn't want to do it anymore. Something like that. Okay, you know, well, I don't do drugs. I used to smoke weed back in high school and stuff like that. I never bought my own weed. I used to smoke with people. Like, so it was like, okay, oh, everybody's gonna smoke weed. Okay, I hit the joint. You know, I ain't never bought my own weed, rolled up my own joint or anything like that. I've always been one of those social weed smokers. Oh, y'all smoking weed? Okay, I'll get in on that. You know, and never a habit, and never nothing that I, you know, had to battle with. Now drinking, you know, alcohol is a different thing. You know, I drink occasionally. I drink socially. You know, New Year's, pop a bottle and stuff like that. Even now, I might feel like, okay, well, I'm gonna go out here. I'll get a bottle of my Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, and a little bitty thing, or you know, whatever I get. And you know, that's just me. But I don't drink to the point to where I'm pissing my pants or walking around cussing people out or saying some stuff to my woman or my sister or my mama or my nieces or my kids that I'm gonna regret later on. Like, hey, yeah, daddy drunk out his ass. Like, you know, I don't get to that point, you know. And like I said, that's me. Everybody has their own thing. And some people have, you know, taken things further. I mean, some people have their own, you know, poisons and stuff. Some people are still fighting their own demons and stuff. He said, you can't roll cause, hey, you know what's so screwed up? Like with me not doing that? Like, I've actually rolled up joints for other people. Like, they like, well, you don't smoke weed. I'm like, well, you don't know what the heck you doing. Give me that. Here you go. See, that simple. I mean, shoot, if you knew how to roll a cigarette, I mean, I think you know how to roll a joint or something like that. And I've tried it just for the simple fact of trying it. And I think I did pretty good. It wasn't all perfect, looking like a daggone stick or something like that, but it wasn't looking like twigs. It looked like I bit it and my tooth caught it and stuff like that. Like none of that. Well, looks like my time's about up. The person who I was waiting on has arrived. But I don't know, man. Like, you know, my whole point was actually saying that, you know, we see that, okay, all this demon worship and stuff like that, sacrificing and conjuring up spirits and stuff like that is wrong. But my comparison is this: what are we doing what are Christians doing behind their closed doors when they're tarrying for the Holy Ghost? Now compare those two things. And then also, us drinking this sacrificial wine or this whatever, so on and so forth, that's cultism. Okay? Every so often, us Christians have a thing called communion. And we are literally symbolically drinking someone's blood and eating someone's flesh in remembrance of them. For the outside looking in, we look like a cult. From the outside looking in, we look like demon worshipers. But, because we're doing it for the right reasons, this is right. This is holy. Somebody taught you to do that. Just think on that, y'all.